Balake. Where is Balake at?
My name's Blake.
Do you want to go to war, Balake? I'm for real. Ron.
Ron is here, everyone. Welcome back for more SPTV, where every day is a great day not to be in a cult. I'll tell you what, Scientology done messed up again. I mean, with the title of this video, you might think the protester done messed up. After all, it's called Scientology protester charged with felony wiretapping. And I got to tell you, I don't think that is the case. I think Scientology messes up big time when it overplays its hand and when it really aggressively goes after people who are just practicing their protected First Amendment, practicing protected First Amendment activity like protesting. And this is coming to us out of Boston. There was a protester up in Boston who'd been going out there almost every single day. I absolutely loved watching his streams because for me, someone who spent a lot of time in Scientology, Boston is supposed to be this big booming org. L. Ron Hubbard talks about Boston, and seeing his stream and seeing what he runs into out there, Boston is like this tiny little piece of crap org out in a strip mall in a temporary location. And anyway, so Cubs champion, let me just show you the channel right here. Cubs champion 16 is a protester who's been getting it done out in Boston. And Scientology has recently managed to get him charged with felony wiretapping. I have him here to talk about what's going on. Here he is. I'm just going to call him Cubs. How you doing, Cubs?
Good, Aaron. How are you, man?
It's great to talk to you.
Likewise.
Let's see. Where shall we begin? I'll tell you what. Before I ask you any direct questions, let me just show everyone. You last week or 2 weeks ago had put up a GoFundMe. I'm going to put a link to it in the description and in the pinned comment for the replay when we're done here. Where you are raising money for an attorney. I think you've raised the initial part that you needed to hire the attorney, and depending on how it goes, you're going to need the rest. So I'm going to mention that now. I'm going to paste the link to it for people who want to contribute. But let's talk about what in the heck is going on here. What can you tell me? And based on what you have to say, I'll ask questions.
So I was notified through the mail that the Commonwealth of Massachusetts has pressed some felony charges on me. So reading on that, it was felony wiretapping for an incident that occurred back in February of this year. And then just, receiving that, obviously somebody panicked, which I did. Thankfully, I just didn't drop the ball, start calling, law firms to figure this out. And the really coincidence thing about it that's really weird is I was given a death threat on October 8th, and they filed this complaint 2 days after that from something that stemmed from February until October. And as a lot of people know that watch me, I'm almost there every day, if not every day, every other day. So they have ample of opportunities to Boston PD to be like, hey, this is the gentleman that we want to file this wiretapping complaint on. So for me, it's just really weird, which. No, in Scientology, it's not, of course. They got their feelings hurt that I reported a death threat, and it's in the books, as a police report for a death threat. And they decided, hey, we might have something on him, and if it doesn't stick, it don't matter. It costs him a lot of money, and he won't be out here, depending, how it goes, depending what the court says.
Wow. Okay, there's a lot of places I want to go here. So I've seen your stream almost every day. God, I wasn't hearing my feedback earlier when we were talking, and now I'm hearing feedback. Did anything change?
Not on my end.
Okay. You interact with the staff members at the org. You interact with the public. Remind me, February is actually when you started protesting out there, right?
January is when I kind of did, but it was more like February or January, February, March. It was more like a scope kind of thing, like just get the lay of the land, just to see where it was at. I Google Earth it or whatever and knew where it was at. It's across the street, literally from Packard's Corner. So a train stop literally stops and it's literally right there. So easy to get to by train. So it was just me seeing like how many people really come here, which isn't a lot. And then just to walk around the neighborhood, just so in case, I get attacked or something, seeing the streams that I've been seeing when I started watching this in last year in November. I was like, I need a getaway plan so, I can not continue to get attacked. So yeah, but February was honestly my first live, I believe, that I ever did on my channel.
Okay, your first live stream in February. And so if they wanted to charge you or they had any problem with anything that you've been doing out there, they've had pretty much every day since February. It's not like you're in there hiding in the bushes. You're standing right outside the org, right? You're standing right outside their door.
Literally right their door, yeah, outside their door, like literally, because it's a rented space.
Yeah.
As you were saying, it is like a strip mall. There's a pawn shop, a mattress shop / furniture shop, yoga shop, restaurant. So it's not like just them, like all the other buildings that they have. So yeah, I'm literally right outside the door. Like any time a member walked in, they could have been like, "Hey, there he is. Get him for wiretapping," and of course they haven't. So.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, the police have been called a number of times since you started doing all this in February, right?
Correct. Yeah. On me, it's been 4 times and 1 on another protester. Yes.
Right, whether it's like chalk or posters or whatever the heck, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so you mentioned that you started in February. You mentioned that these charges are relating to something that happened in February. We're going to get back to that. But you mentioned that you'd received a death threat. What's up with that?
So yeah, so I was out there on Tuesday, October 8th, doing the usual thing, holding my sign. Which now instead of handwriting, I was like, hey, I can, instead of just writing one message, I can print out the handouts and stuff and have like 6 messages on there. So I just been out there holding my sign right next to their dumb sign, of course. And they actually have their ideal org location on Lincoln Street, which is like a 10-minute drive, if that. So they do have an ideal org location. It's huge. It's huge. It's huge. So I was over there, and then Steve Goodwin shows up to the one across the street from Packard's Corner, and I was like just joking, like, "Hey, Steve, saw you at the other building. I said hi from the train station, and you didn't say anything." And all of a sudden, like, he was like 30 feet away from me. He like pretty much sprinted, but it was like a speed walk, and just started yelling at me about being over there at the other building. And as you know, he just starts cussing at me and yelling at me or whatever. Then as he's going in, he continues this rant and then says, "If I ever see you at that building on the property again, you're fucking dead," as he's walking in. So obviously, I always live stream no matter what I'm doing, even if I'm walking from the ID org to the regular org that they have right now. Like, I always record. I don't want to go offline, because if something happens, the community is great where they can call the police for Boston or whatever. So I always try to live stream. So yeah, that was pretty much it. I called the police. 2 ladies showed up, good officers. I told them, what I'm telling you, showed them the video. They went inside the org. They talked to Paul Bradford, who is an older gentleman, and he shows up usually about like between 5 and 6. And from what I was told from some people that used to be at the Boston org, they have overnight security. So I believe he's the one who's like stays overnight and just watches the org. They went in to talk to him, and he told them, quote, too, this is his exact words: "Steve's in a session. He cannot be disturbed." That's exactly what they told the police. So the officers did not talk to Steve, who's the guy who gave me the death threat. They came out, they told me, we'll write the report, ask for the police report number, and then I got the report number, or the actual police report. And then 2 days later is when they filed charges for wiretapping.
Wow. So it very much sounds like, feels like retaliation.
I believe so, 100%. Because again, they had, any person can just, common sense. Like, it's been since February. I was out there April, May, June, July, September, and then October, even October 1st to, the 9th. They filed this on the 10th. Like, I was out there.
Yeah.
Like,
Is that October? You don't hear any feedback?
no, I don't know.
I'm hearing myself in my ear. Live chat, let me know if you're hearing my feedback, and I'll just okay. You calling the police on them in early October, was that the first time that had ever occurred?
Yeah, because I don't abuse the system. Like I can't speak for other orgs besides what I see, but I don't abuse the police here in Boston and call for putting flyers on cars or chalking bullshit stuff. I call the police because that's a death threat. That is a criminal act in the state of Massachusetts, and I'm sure every other state. So I said, hey, let me use my brain. I have to document this, not just in a live. Let me call the police, get a police report. That way, if they try this again, it's noted, hey, this is the second time by this criminal organization that they have given me a death threat or have been aggressive towards me. Like, you can never say I'm the aggressor when I'm out there. Never.
Yeah.
So I decided, hey, call the police. It's just a smart thing to do.
Wow, this is pure retaliation now. But here's what's crazy, though. It's not just up to Scientology to retaliate on this. What's blowing my mind is that anyone in the prosecutor's office has taken a look at this and is like, yeah, we'll do something with this. So when we talk about wiretapping, let's get back to this. I'm thinking of you up there on a freaking phone pole with like some high-tech equipment trying to, eavesdrop on their phone system. What can you say about whatever occurred that they have turned into this charge?
So what I can say is, like I said earlier, was incident on February 29th of this year. And they're accusing me of recording inside the org. It's going to be the incident. And fortunately, I wish I can get into it, but obviously it's a legal a case here. So that's as much as I can go into, but it's definitely from that. Just knowing what I did in February, that's the only thing that it's going to be accusation of me recording inside the org.
Right. So I'm going to say the words. You let me know if my words are acceptable enough to be taken as correct for this video. The charges in question have to do with you recording with your phone in a Scientology property.
Correct.
Right. You're not messing with anyone's systems. You're not tapping. You're not eavesdropping. I know your lawyer has said, don't say anything because that's just bad practice. But anyone who watches your live stream would have literally already seen what it is you're now being charged with.
It's currently still there because I'm not taking anything until I call the law firm, because I'm not hiding evidence. It's still there on my page because until I get told, once I hire the law firm, now that we do have the retainer, I'm just waiting for the money to hit my bank account and clear through the processing through GoFundMe. But it's still there until they tell me my, attorney says take it off, then I'll take it off. But I don't want to do that in the court, say, oh, he's hiding something. No, I'm not. It's there. Like, there's nothing for me to hide. Like, it's all there. Everything's always recorded. There's
very cool. There's a comment here just says, how is that wiretapping? I mean, that's the question. It doesn't make any damn sense, which is why I'm totally comfortable, doing this interview and promoting this fundraiser, is because, originally the idea that I had for how the SPTV community would support the protester community would be to serve as like a safety net for this, for when Scientology is trying to abuse the system and just trying to screw people over. And, personally, without calling out any specific examples, I felt like there was a time where I started to feel like the support from the SPTV community started to serve as an excuse for intentional bad behavior. And then I became less comfortable asking the community to support some of those fundraisers. And I'm just saying all this because everything we're discussing now is why I'm completely comfortable doing this interview and doing this video and promoting this fundraiser, because it's not a matter of, did he really do the thing? Yeah, the freaking video's on your channel. The matter is what he did. Is this appropriate for what he did? No, this is insane. This is retaliation. This is lawfare. This is fair game. This is harassment. And I cannot wait. Oh, they're starting to hear the feedback. I'm looking at the live chat. No, it's because of the mic. Oh man. Okay, give me one second.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, no, figure that out, because if I had that, it'd be annoying too. You're good. Beware Norfolk County DA Morrissey, Austin, Norfolk County.
All right. Testing. Everything sounds good to me. I can hear my echo, but it sounds okay. Guys in the live chat, testing. How does it sound? All right. Well, no matter what. Yeah. Anyway, I think I finished my sentence, but Just tell me what kind of interaction you've had with the public and the staff out there for these last many months. How has the experience been? Have they gotten friendly with you at the time? Aside from this particular thing, has it gotten more hostile, or aside from this?
So I'll answer the hostile because that'll be a shorter answer. So the the members for Scientology have gotten a lot more hostile towards me. At the beginning, it would just be the normal Xenu eyes where they stare you down, ignoring you, and then it got to the point where obviously the most recent one is the death threat. I also had another gentleman that came up to me and gloated that he studied under LRH, so he doesn't care what I have to say, that I'm never going to change his mind. And I let him know that it's not about changing your mind. But if you need help, let me know. I know people. But it's more for the public. The public needs to know what criminal organization this is and what you guys stand for. But they have gotten a lot more hostile. They do have a back door, which these guys have, all of them have been in my videos at least 50 times. So I don't understand why they sneak through the back. Not that that's hostile, but it's hilarious because if I'm walking around, you can tell when they watch my live, because I'll be at the door and then all suddenly I'll just hit that corner and I'll see them walking through the back and I'm like, dude, why? Just come out the front. To your question about the public, I'm following a lot. Like I said, I started watching William first back in November. I liked his robot videos, his cop videos, and then he started doing the Scientology. So I was like, kind of heard about Scientology. In high school, all I was told by friends is don't listen to them. It's a cult. Never really asked specifics. That's all I needed to know, is that it's a cult. I was like, I'm not about that life. So, I started, other channels came up, but what he said, you want to make it family friendly out there. You don't want to make, like, for me, I'm in a strip mall pretty much. It's not, but it is, there's other businesses. I don't want those businesses to complain that I'm out here protesting Scientology and that I'm ruining their business. Like, that's going to make me feel bad because I don't want them to lose business because of this organization. So, when I'm out there, all the businesses, from the ones that do talk to me, they're happy. The pawn shop that's literally next door, the owner is so chill. He's always cool. He always talks to me, and the other business on the other side. And then the public, some of them do say some words like, oh, why are you bothering them? Leave them alone. And then my question is, I throw the child abuse, the SA abuse, like, that they cover up, like you're supporting. And that's when I get mad, because I'm like, you don't even know anything about them and you're supporting them. Tell me to mind my own business, which then again, I say, why don't you mind your own business? Keep walking. Like, I don't talk to the public when they walk by me, because I don't bother anyone. If someone stops and talks to me, yes, I'm going to talk their ear off, because, they're asking me questions. So the public does like me out there. There is a English school that's there, English as second language school, and an IT school, and a business school. All those students as well, they see me out there. When I was out there, they talk to me. They say, hey, how are you doing today? A few of them actually even stand by me, like on their lunch break at night or their dinner break, and we'll chat for 5 to 10 minutes. So that's a good thing. And I want to continue that, that relationship, because again, I don't want to be a nuisance out there, where they're getting calls to Boston PD saying, hey, this protester is just causing a lot of issues. Because it's going to get to a point where, even though they can't tell me to stop, I just don't want to do that to the businesses there. Yeah. They deserve better. They're already next to Scientology, unfortunately, so they don't deserve to lose any more business if they are losing business.
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. It's one of the reasons I like watching your stream, is you're just out there calm, doing your thing, being there. There's nothing they can do about it. You're not causing any trouble. You're not initiating any confrontations or anything like that. I can imagine, because I know what life is like as a staff member, that they would actually be getting heat for leaving you alone, because they need to be doing something to get you out of there. And so you being so nice to them, their natural human reaction would be to just leave you alone. And yet pressure would be coming down from on high, being like, what are you doing? You can't leave him alone. You've got to make something happen so that we can get rid of him. So I think that might explain maybe some increased aggression that you're experiencing, even though you're not being more aggressive. It's interesting that what they're trying to charge you with also doesn't seem, aside from if they can get you like in jail or something, it's not like they've got a restraining order against you or anything.
Nope. They can't. I haven't done anything that would warrant that.
Right. And have you ever been trespassed from the building itself?
Nope. So when I went in, um, what I can say is I was invited in for the tour. Let's say that I didn't
Right.
just go in nilly. I was invited in there.
Right.
So other than that, that would be the only time I've actually gone in there. And again, they rent space, so it's not like they own the building. But obviously they are a tenant, so I'm sure there's some rule or law that states that they can trespass people. But no, I don't touch their building. I don't even breathe on it. Like I know better. Watching all the other protesters before I amped it up. I already know. There's no way. I'm not going to do anything to jeopardize myself from being able to be out there. I just can't because I love doing it. For
Yeah.
people like you, ex-Scientologists, and not just for you guys. Like I just don't stand what they do. Like all the crimes that they committed and are still committing. That's not me. I'm not about that. Like I'm not going to stand for that at all. So I would never do anything to jeopardize me being able to go out there.
Yeah. And explain this if you can. But up until now, my understanding is you haven't actually been arrested, right?
No, I have not.
How does all of this work? I don't understand the whole process. Do you understand it enough to explain it?
Kind of. So someone has to make a complaint here in the Commonwealth. And I'm sorry I'm calling it that. I'm not, it's just what it's called. I wasn't born and raised here. So where I was, we don't call ourselves the Commonwealth, but apparently here you do. So the Commonwealth, someone had to put a complaint in for this charge, which we know who it is. They put a complaint in. I don't know if it's to an officer. I mean, I'm assuming that's what it is. You file like a complaint to the police and then they send it up. And then obviously, what is it? The DA or prosecutor looks at it, like you said, and someone decided that that was good enough for what they saw to charge these. Anyone could go up and look, on the Commonwealth website what wiretapping is. There are 3 things that are required for it to be wiretapping. So that's what the court proceedings would be. But yeah, so someone reported this on October 10th. They filed it, and then they decided to give a court date for it. I never got that court date to myself. And then I got another paper saying that, I was officially charged with those charges. So that's pretty much what I know. I might know more when, I hire the law firm here soon, either at the end of this week or next week once the funds come through. And then I obviously will ask them what I'm able to share with you guys. But that's pretty much the process. Complaint, prosecutor looks at it, they decide yes or no. In this case, they decided yes. I get a court date, I need to get arraigned, and then the court proceedings, the judicial system will do its thing.
See, what's going to be interesting is the shenanigans here are not just on Scientology's side. The fact that they've convinced someone, either working with the police or working with the prosecutors, to be like, oh yeah, this is a good use of our time and a good application of the law, and this is going to be fair and just for a totally normal thing that happened. Well, you said when did you find out? When is it that they tried to charge you? About 2 months ago now, right?
Yeah, about 2 months, I guess. Yeah.
So it happened 7 months early. They made an issue out of this 7 months after the incident, and only 2 days after you filed a police report on them.
Correct.
So it's incredible. It's incredible. Oh, the feedback's coming through your speakers. That's what's happening. I'm plugging my shit over here. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to encourage people to support your fundraiser. Are you planning on not going back out to protest until you're waiting? What is it you want to, what's the hump that you want to get over?
The arraignment. So once I get through the arraignment, well, I'll figure it out there. I just want to get arraigned, which everyone knows what an arraignment is. They're going to tell me my charge of felony wiretapping. I'll plead to what I'm going to plead to, which I'm sure everyone knows what I'll plead to. And then I'm sure that the lawyer said in the consultation it'll probably be a 60-day out court date, which would be the next court date, and then go from there. So I just want to get through the arraignment, see what the judge says, if he's going to make me do a stay away order or not. And then we'll figure that out with the attorney.
Got
so
it.
hopefully not, you know, I would love to go out there. I won't bring this up at all while I'm protesting because I'm there to protest, not to have my issues out there with them. So we'll see. I just want to get through the arraignment, hopefully, which now thankfully to the community, we raise enough money so I can get that, and then go from there. So I'm excited just to get it going and hopefully be back out there to show them that this isn't going to scare me at all. It doesn't. I mean, it is scary. It's a felony. It's not something that's a slap on the wrist, but it's not going to stop me at all from protesting. No way. It's going to make me go even harder, which every time they've called the police on me, I've gone even harder. I don't understand why they keep messing with me. Like, it went from 3 or 4 days a week to almost every day for 2 months. Like, do you really want this face out there every day, 7 days a week, man? Like, with a sign telling people that you guys are cool and the crimes that you guys do? No.
We might have to surprise them. I might have to fly up there and join you for a little bit.
Do it, man.
Like, this is what happens. This is
the
what
cops
happens.
Might definitely come if you show up. I know you're a celebrity with them.
I'll be just as nice as you are.
I know.
Well, just want to show everyone one more time your YouTube channel. You can subscribe to Cubs at Cubs Champions 16, and I will put the link to his GoFundMe in the comments down below. And let's see real quick. Ken Grove, remember for 8 months, I'm in Maine about to lose power from a storm. Just wanted to stop in and say what's up to my Aaron fam. Is there a big winter storm coming up there?
There's actually a big rainstorm right now. It's been raining all day here in Boston. And it actually got even like 10 times worse, like within the last 2 hours, to be honest.
Wow.
So there is a big rainstorm right here in this area up here up north.
All right. Well, stay safe, Ken. Thanks for being a member for 8 months, and thanks for jumping into the live chat. Eat More Pizza Now. David says California is a two-party consent state when recording in a private entity. That might be part of what they're complaining, whether or not you are invited in. Go Giants. Yeah, it sounds like it's something to do with that, right?
100%, I believe, yes. And go Cubs, not Giants.
And Fingy says,
hey,
Cubs.
Fingy.
All right, guys, we're just going to keep it as short and sweet as we can. Even then, we're still going for a half hour, so not that short, but that's cool. It's been a pleasure talking to you, Cubs. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us. Thank you, as always, to everyone who watches until the very end, and I'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate you guys.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right